2,500, right? And I saw like someone say 15, and I thought that was like, wow, that is a lot. For me, I you can tell that I don't really have Spotify, so
Yeah.
because of that, I mean, there are probably a lot of songs that I would say, yeah, I like that song. I would listen to it. But for me, like I have 500 that I can truly say that, yeah, I would like it. Just quality out the window, right? I'm just like, I don't really care about the quality of the song if it really just I really like. So
Yeah.
for me, for the amount of years that I listen to music, I've like accumulated 500 songs that I would be like, no matter what, I would probably definitely listen to it, right? And I don't know for that, I feel like that isn't really much a lot when it comes to listening and like keeping track of like music I truly like for like the past 10 years, you know? So I don't know if that's like super protective, but I just know that out of these 500 songs, I know that I would definitely 100% like.
Yeah. And like the talking about like things just being kind of arbitrary. There's a lot of songs on my playlist that I shuffle, like or I'll
Yeah,
skip, like 9 out of
yeah,
10 times. Where I'm like, no, YouTube, I don't want to listen to a really corny parody of Clint Eastwood
yeah.
by Gorillaz, but instead it's about Frosty the Snowman. I'm not in the mood for that.
Yes.
It's really
And of
funny
course, with
though.
that, I would still skip songs in my playlist because, sometimes I'm just not in the mood to listen to it.
Yeah.
And more songs I would be down to listen to, right? Because some songs fit more of my moods than others, right? But I would know, I would be like, this is a song that I would like, and whenever I'm like on a drive, I would 100% not skip, you know.
Yeah.
But of course, like if I were to like 100% characterize my music as unorganized as it may be, it would be, video game music and 80s rock.
Yeah.
And with what I said was my favorite, you know, music would be, it would be Journey and Kingdom Hearts. I think I think Journey would be like Who's Crying Now would be like my second favorite,
Yeah. I think
of all time.
I had a family member who was really into like Journey, and that was I think that's their favorite song, or
Yeah.
or I would hear it a lot from them. Like whenever you say "Who's crying now," I just smell like cigarettes that were previously smoked in a car. Because
That makes sense.
yeah, yeah,
That would 100% make sense. But yeah, Journey, Who's Crying Now? Like I said, not my favorite Journey song. My second favorite song of all time. My number one would be the opening to Kingdom Hearts 2. And that
that's
song's
not
called
simple.
Sanctuary.
That's not simple and clean.
No,
Yeah,
that one's for Kingdom Hearts 1.
yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 2 is Sanctuary.
Okay, okay. This is the same artist. You don't know
And
if
I
it's the
think,
same artist.
wait, what?
I was asking if it's the same artist who does
Oh,
the.
yeah,
Okay.
for the both openings for 1 and 2 is from the same artist.
Yeah.
And that same artist sang the opening for 3, Kingdom Hearts 3.
If I had to like simplify my taste, it would genuinely just be alternative.
Yeah, old time music,
Well,
old time
yeah,
dad rock,
or just
Well, I guess,
alternative.
yeah. So it's
Alternative
something.
and like electronic. I was trying to think of
Yeah.
like, well, there's a lot of like just dance songs I like. But realistically, I listen to everything but post 9/11 stream
But
music.
Fair.
that's the only thing where I'll speak about something broadly negative is post 9/11 country music.
Every time, bro.
In high school I used to do so about mumble rap, but there's some good music there.
I mean, I guess would you count Eagles as country music?
That's 70s rock.
Yeah,
That's the like 60s rock was like um sort
Johnny
of
Cash.
no, that would be more country.
Oh, oh, rock.
When I
Okay.
look at the progression of that genre, right, is that 60s, like 50s was rock, right? 50s
Yeah,
was rock and roll. It was this sort of like revolution of like the music that you're used to
music.
hearing.
Yeah,
But
and that
what it
would
really was is just white people stealing
jazz.
st- st- white it's just appropriation
Yeah,
of other things. And then 60s was the introduction of like a foreign element to it. And so it kind of evolved the style because what was the most popular rock music was like for at least in America it was people from Britain. So you
yeah,
get things like the Beatles, you get things like the Rolling Stones, you get sort of like evolution by taking like different approaches from different I guess location, you know? And then 70s is kind of where they take rock and then they Americanize it more. And so you get things like Fleetwood Mac, Eagles, this sort of like rock music that is almost like more in-house. And it
in house. Yeah,
kind of takes styling from like other genres that were more so in-house like country. And so like there's a bit more of a like folk sound to rock in the 70s. And like I think, like I said, the biggest examples of that would probably be like Eagles and Fleetwood Mac, which I really liked Fleetwood Mac. I liked Fleetwood Mac a lot because my dad really liked it.
yeah.
Um, and then same with the
I feel like
Eagles, and those were both bands that my grandpa liked. My dad likes them bands because my grandpa liked them, and then
yeah.
I liked it because my dad listened to it.
What is this? Storage. Okay, storage speed.
And then you start getting like you get metal, hair metal, glam rock towards like
Glam.
the
Yeah.
middle point to the like the late 70s to like the early 80s, right? And that's if you took oh, I got red screen there. Thank
Oop,
God.
jug.
Jug. Oh, even better. Um those are if you take the noise and like churn it up to 11 and then you
Sounds
kind
about
of
right.
introduce like a weird queer element to it. Like you look at hair metal, you look at glam rock, like those are just kind of innately gay, and I love that.
What?
Well, well, Twisted Sister,
Yeah,
David Bowie, like
we're so
you
back.
think of things from that era, and they're kind of just weird. And I think that's interesting because that's kind of when you take things past the beaten path, they kind of end up that way.
They
Like
all lead to Rome.
they all lead to Rome, yeah. Because like with glam rock, hair metal, right? You got the huge exaggerated outfits, like the leather with all like the
Extravagant.
striping, like the one suits, and you have the synth. Then you get like new wave, which is almost like the same way that you had the '60s rock, like play off of the '50s rock, but with that sort of like UK element. New
Yeah.
wave is that. New wave is that, but for what the early glam rock hair metal was. For
Way more
gosh,
synthy.
man, this would be such a good video. Instead, you're getting so many ums and ers,
What? Don't worry.
and so many like half thought statements.
Listen, you can probably chop it up and
No, I
probably
can't because
repackage it. You can't?
no, because it has to be full
Well, I mean,
gameplay.
no. Well, I'm talking about
I lost Jug.
you had Jug
I know. I just said I lost it.
in Bison Fortnite. What happened?
In Bison Street Fighter 6, what happens?
No. Oh, that's a thing now, huh?
Oh yeah, for some reason.
Okay, it should be good. Let's see. Okay. What? Why are there still zombies spawning over there?
Because there's still zombies to be fought. Don't you dare.
All right. Well, have fun. Uh, they're all still spawning over there.
Be mindful the water slows you down. Bro doesn't know the
I'm,
water slows you down.
dude. How was I? Well, I knew the water slowed you down. No, I'm keeping that in the video. It's a part of the journey.
Yeah, you're elongating it so that way we can like just awkwardly conversate further.
Okay, dude.
Yeah. But New Wave is probably like I don't know anymore, but it used to just be my favorite genre until a while ago. Like now that I listen, now that like Weezer is part of my personality, like part of me has to kind of question it. But like before that, my favorite band was Talking Heads. Um, Whenever I would have like an insomniac, like just restless night, I would listen to a whole bunch of 80s new wave, which that's if you don't know what that is, that's like Flock of Seagulls,
Yeah.
Joy Division. Well, no order. I don't know. Joy Division. I guess Joy Division's new wave. Like that's like the closest I've liked to just liking normal pop music is new wave. But yeah, there's gonna be a YouTube video about Talking Heads at some point
Why?
because there's like it'll be like the Salt and Vinegar Chips video.
Oh, okay.
Like there's a personal story to it.
Gotcha. I feel like for me, 80s, the 80s part is when I would probably say that there's probably like a nice origin, but for me, that's kind of like when you really start like hearing white girl music. Because I know like boy bands from like early Beatles would be considered like white girl music,
Oh yeah.
but like just from how old that is,
Like you're talking about like the modern interpretations of white girl music.
yeah, of white girl music, yeah.
Yeah. You're like white girl music was born when Toto Africa came out.
No,
No, that's true. That's true.
is that how,
That's
would you consider that white girl music?
I yes, mainly because I had a huge resurgence in like 20 something.
Yeah.
Like it had a huge like TikTok boom and it has a TikTok boom, I'm sorry.
Did Duran have TikTok boom?
Uh I don't know. Would Duran be considered new wave? I don't know. Probably.
I
Up in
guess on
the
that
line,
topic,
step in it
what would
fine,
be what would be considered like your dedicated like worst artist slash band? Because
Uh,
mine would be Duran.
really? You don't like Duran
Yeah,
Duran?
I don't really like Duran apart from the "You Spin Me Right Around" song. I
Okay,
really like that song.
that's Dead or Alive. That's not Duran Duran.
But that is it. Okay, then
No,
100% Duran.
irredeemable now. Maybe I should have. Maybe I should have
Ah,
told you. Um, hmm. That's interesting that yours is Duran Duran. Like I could get not liking them, but hating them. And it's really funny because I really like Duran Duran, and "Don't Stop Believing" by Journey is one of my least favorite songs
yeah,
ever. But when it comes to artist, that's it's a weird thing because there's a lot of things I have to consider. I think off the top of my head, it might be Machine Gun Kelly.
yeah.
And it's not the his music sucks. Like it's not just that. Like for me, I love punk music.
Yeah.
And I love that philosophy of punk. If if I didn't get into meditation as much as I did, I think I would I would be much more of a punk person.
Yeah.
Um, and Machine Gun Kelly got his ass beat by Eminem so bad that he became a punk
Oh.
artist, right?
Yeah.
And a large philosophy of punk is like anti-establishment.
Yep.
Machine Gun Kelly
It's
is
nothing
as
like that.
corporate as a punk artist as you can literally
Um,
get. To the
so
point
he
where his
would.
biggest song is a collab with a Nepo baby.
Oh
Because of
no.
Emo Girl, right? That's a
Yeah.
song with him and Willow, who's Will Smith's daughter.
Yeah.
And like um, with Willow, some of her music, she's a nepo baby who does that sort of like emo alt sort of music, and I think that is innately, not of the genre really. I think her music sounds good. At least she has that over Machine Gun Kelly,
Machine Gun Kelly. Yeah.
and
But that
ultimately,
would still be a Nepo baby,
yeah. And
no matter what.
so when I have a least favorite artist, a lot of times it's not so much based off its sounds, it's about the person behind it.
Yeah. The artist behind the song. Yeah.
Yeah, and so Machine Gun Kelly is probably an answer. If you're wanting a more unique answer, it might be Metallica.
Really, Metallica.
Yeah, they're just. I think of like
It,
their Napster lawsuit. I think the fact that the band's only as big as they got
yeah.
because they have a drummer who's a nepo baby. So
That's
if you
so
notice,
funny.
there's a link between being a nepo baby and
Not liking the music. All right, the artist.
yeah, but only when they're in genres that are firmly rooted in like fuck the establishment. Like Metallica's like heavy metal. It's like, yeah, we're heavy metal. We like being different and rocking the boat. But then it's like it exists as a product because of someone existed in the boat that they're quote unquote trying to rock. That thing just really frustrates me because the message of the band
It's
feels
fundamentally
fake.
flawed.
It doesn't even feel it is flawed. But for me, it's the fact that it feels fake. Like it feels
Yeah.
like when a band has such a strong message and you just know that fundamentally they're not behind that message,
Yeah.
it frustrates me. Like Ringo is my least favorite Beatle because he's the least talented. But then my
But
second least favorite is John Lennon because he sung like Imagine while being a millionaire who did nothing
because
with that money to actually help people. He was like an environmental like he did all these like environmental stunts and activist statements, but he didn't actually use his tools and his wealth to actually do anything. He just used it to say, he just laid in bed naked with his wife. He didn't
yeah,
actually take any action. Like
he had no soul to it
he pointed the finger at other people when he had the power
to
to make a
make a
change.
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like there are small things that he did do, but fundamentally as a whole, it feels hypocritical. And so I can't really give you like one exact example, but I can tell
Yeah.
you the recipe. That's the recipe, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Like the shtick of it. Your your reasoning behind what would be.
Yeah. Music. Come on. Come on. You'll kick. Boo.
Oh, Mule kicks in here.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
wonder.
BO1. That's the funny. These are more remakes of the BO1 maps than they are the World at War. Because they add Mule Kick.
Well, what are you gonna add for World at War?
Well, you would just not have Mule Kick.
Um, oh, Shino was in BO1. I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, all the World at War maps. Okay. Okay, Jug is over where I'm at.
Where are you?
Dude, I don't even remember what this one's called. Might be called like
Is
the
it
Hut.
uh is it Doctors? Or oh,
Well, you can
storage.
see
That's
my
what it's called.
outline. Oh, it's
Yeah,
storage. Okay.
yeah,
This is the part of Shino that I remember the least, and it is genuinely because this is the last one I usually go to, and
yeah.
normally by this point I get Jug. Because this is
Okay.
just pure water. This is just pure freaking water. Like, ew.
Why don't you go through the middle? This is like a 3 lane kind of thing.
Yeah. If you go through the middle, then you get swamped by zombies because it's thin, you
It's
know.
yeah. Counterpoint. It's round 6.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just saying when I play on this map, you know, casually,
Yeah.
and I'm not trying to reach round 10 and then quit like a
Right.
nerd.
Like,
Oh, this is where the meteor's at. I was always wondering that too. I'm like, why have I never found the meteor here?
because this is the part that you never like to go to. It's different in BO3 than it was in 1 because it's like red in 1. Or is that just me?
What were you saying?
The meteorites, last time I remember, it looked red in BO1.
It might be. They might have changed it to be more blue to fit up with how it looks in like Origins.
Yeah,
Oh, you could slide cancel through here even though it's water.
that's funny.
You have to be. I think if
Is
you
this?
like do it too late though, you ruin it. Oh, dogs. Oh goodness.
You got jugs, so.
I don't.
What?
I don't have enough points. I bought like 2 areas, dude. I spent
Oh,
like 4K.
so you want to kill the dogs?
Don't worry about it.
I'll just cover. I'll cover back here.
Okay, I got enough points. We'll be fine. Huzzah!
Uh, it's a new day. Yes, it
I'm
is.
gonna go to the flogger just so spawns are quicker.
Okay.
Oh, there's Wonderfizz on this map?
I thought you were using it
No.
because that's what.
I got Mule Kick from one of the other corners.
Okay.
Basically, so they added Quick Revive and Spawn, and then Mule Kick is one of the perks you can
Yeah.
get from the shacks now. That's basically why I got Mule Kick from that because they moved Quick Revive, which that makes sense. I don't know if that's the case in BO1. I would be surprised if it's not.
What? Mule kick
Um,
and
Quick Revive being switched
yeah.
or something. I don't know.
I mean, more often than not, when it comes to like BO1 recreations, it would be in spawn for a quick revive.
Yeah.
I don't want this.
La 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 la. Got the haymaker. So
Oh hey.
one thing I have to consider, I'm gonna say something going back to what you said about Duran. First off, I like Duran. They're not close to one of
Yeah.
my favorite bands,
Yeah.
but like when I was really into 80s music, I was into that new wave, just 80s pop in general. I listened to them a lot. I used to play Band Hero, and they had Rio. Have you ever heard that
Yeah.
song?
I don't think
Like
so.
by Duran.
Yeah.
So the chorus goes like, "Her name is Rio, and she danced along the sand." Um, as a kid, I had a speech impediment, or I always like to be an asshole and say I had a speech impediment.
Bah.
Um, I don't know if I'm really being an a-hole if I was being one to myself, but
yeah.
um, we would do Band Hero, and that song was on there, and I would always be the singer, and I would just say Rio wrong. I just go, her name is Rio, and she danced along the sand, and no one told me because they thought it was funnier for me to sing that song over and over and just sing it the wrong way.
So was it intentional?
No, I just mispronounced it.
Oh, okay.
Like my brain would hear Rio, right? I would hear the
Yeah.
song, and then I would try to say Rio, and I'd say Rio,
Oh,
and I
okay.
just wouldn't notice I was saying it wrong. I I have similar issues with words like that to this day. I think most famously is that I when I was in drama, I was in a play production, and I would say the word. I was supposed to say the word phlegm. Which do you know what phlegm is?
What?
Do you know what the word phlegm is?
No.
Okay.
I
So
thought I heard
basically,
that.
phlegm is what happens when you like cough up mucus.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's basically snot coming out of your mouth. Like it's just that sort
oh,
of
yeah.
mucus, that
It
snot.
just happens. Yeah.
Yeah, it's called phlegm. Like I coughed up some I coughed up some phlegm out of my throat, or like oh, my mouth is full of phlegm. Whatever. Um,
Is that what inflammatory means?
maybe I don't think so because they're spelled differently.
I guess
But
so.
my character was supposed to say that, and they had to keep restarting the scene because no matter
Oh,
how hard I tried, I kept saying peglum,
what on
like
earth?
feglum. Like I had to like separate it into two syllables. Like my brain could not process the word otherwise.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm getting like no zombies.
Where are they? Don't tell me they're stuck.
They might be in one of the windows up top.
Mm,
I'm not seeing it.
there's no way we're stuck.
No, no. Even if we somehow were, eventually the zombie would just
Oh, they
auto
would just die.
despawn.
Okay. There they are.
Oh, they were right there. You made me look away.
I hear them. There they are.
Yay, we did it.
Uh,
But yeah, I'd have to keep restarting because it'd be like Peglum. Wait, before we start, why do you hate Duran Duran?
I don't know. It's something.
Is it just like you don't vibe with it?
Yeah, the music.
Well, good
It's
enough.
just
Let's.
like in. But
Oh, you're still standing on my screen.
yeah, I'm also standing.
Yeah, you just died and you're like, oh, I guess I just froze in
Uh,
place.
guess I'll go home.
Yeah. Seeing that thing
So
spin.
cool.
It is cool. I'm so glad that that's what they brought back in Revelations. They were like, yeah, this is the most important aspect of this map, the flogger.
Flogger. Everyone knows Shino by the Flogger, bro.
Yeah, I guess especially with like the BO1 strat.